Good morning, guys. Austin back with another video. It is a new week. It is Monday, and that means it's time for another Monday Mindset Talk, a series where, we go out on a walk outside and we kind of just talk through thoughts, things that I think we all sort of go through, and helping us shape our mindset to be a little bit more positive towards the outlook, towards a new week of life. And in today's video, something I've been thinking about a lot recently is this saying that I think a lot of people like to talk about that I don't really agree with. And it's this idea of, live every day like it's your last. And I think that saying is kind of a lot of crap. And there are a few reasons why I think this is not really the best sort of motto to live by. And I think first off, living every day like it's your last day would just be so exhausting, so tiring. And, I think especially in this day and age, we always feel like, especially if we follow like social media influencers, successful individuals, there's always this talk of like this constant grind, this constant hustle, this constant like you're just working, you're grinding towards a better you never stopping, never quitting. And it's just so unsustainable. We feel like all of a sudden it's like a bad thing to take some leisure time or take some time to ourselves, or even just take a day off where you're not really focused on doing much to progress yourself. And if you're living every day on that hustle, on that grind life, eventually you're just gonna burn out because we're human. Like, that's just an unsustainable way to live long term. And I think a lot of us, we need to be more okay with not necessarily being on the hustle, being on the grind all the time. And you think about like what happens when you do have a big day. Let's say you go out and you travel to a nearby city to go do stuff all day. Like, you get back from that day and you just need to sit, you need to chill, and you don't want to do anything. Like, imagine if you were like doing that every single day. Like, eventually you just get sick of everything. And for me personally, as someone who, part of my income and my job is creating content on platforms like YouTube and Instagram, it's really hard for me to be okay with sort of like taking some time off. I think I have a really hard time separating sort of the work and play like environment, because I do so much of my work at home. And whenever I'm not working on something, I always, in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, what should my next video idea be? Or should I be creating a post for Instagram or something? And so knowing that it's okay to maybe not be thinking about those things all the time, it's something that I'm trying to work on. And it's something that I hope that you can work on too. Because if you can't get your work off of your mind, or you're constantly thinking about what you should be doing next, you tend to miss out on the joys, the pleasures of just sort of hanging out, chilling with friends or family, or just doing an activity that you like to do. And I talked a little bit about it in the last video. Some people say life is short and your life could end at any time, but for the most part, we're all in this life, especially in this new day and age of advancing technology and medicine and things like that. Like, we're all going to be around for a really long time for the most part. Like, this life journey is a freaking long journey, and if you're living every day to the fullest, you're gonna burn out. You're gonna start flipping out. And this sort of branches into the next point of the discussion, and it comes from you think about anything that's been really, really meaningful in your life, whether that's like, a successful marriage, or, you've been training for athletic performance, to compete at high level events, or, building up your own small business, or raising your kids, or, you can think of anything that's been like very, very meaningful to you. All of those things take a ton of time, like a day-to-day consistency of like a sort of like a slowly building process. And it's that process of consistency that again leads to these meaningful outcomes of things. And so if you're living every day to the fullest, you're not really giving yourself the time or the opportunity to build up those things that are going to be very, very meaningful to you. And I know a lot of you that watch my channel here are here for fitness advice, and I think this goes right along with you know, your fitness journey. If you're out living every day to the fullest, you're not gonna spend the time necessary, for instance, to like, you know, take extra time to stretch to recover your body, or put in the daily, you know, that daily consistent hour of workout time to get yourself better. Like, anyone who's been doing fitness for a while knows that results, they don't happen overnight. They take time, consistent effort. But when you put in the consistent time and the consistent effort, you get the results you're looking for, and it's much more fulfilling and meaningful. And for me, one of the biggest examples of this has been with my YouTube channel. You know, I know I don't have the biggest YouTube following of all time, but you know, the slow process of having built that up, experimenting with different video formats and learning editing software, and having days where I'm literally just sitting there trying to figure out how to create a thumbnail, you know, that's not necessarily living life to the fullest every day, but it's putting in the consistent time, the consistent effort that's built something that's very, very meaningful to me. And so I encourage you to think about the things in your life that are very, very meaningful to you, and take time to realize that most likely that's something that you've worked for day to day through a slow, consistent process. And knowing that there's ups and downs that come with that too, you know? I've had multiple periods of time where I wasn't making any videos for a few months, or I didn't have the motivation or the inspiration to do so, but that's okay. Like, I'm here now, I'm alive, you know, things are better, you know, and those up and down peaks and valleys in life, like, they're just gonna happen. Like, that's just part of, you know, sort of our human experience. So I guess the big takeaway that I hope you can get from this video, that I'm trying to get my head wrapped around too, because that's kind of what these talks are about, is helping me sort of put my thoughts out, and, you know, working through these issues together, is, you know, just don't worry about living every day to the fullest. You know, take time off when you need to take time off. Try to separate work and leisure time, and know that this life journey is a long one that's gonna have so many different twists and turns, ups and downs, and things like that, and it's all okay. It's all gonna be okay, and every day is just a slow process trying to build yourself up to be better. And so with a new week upon us, instead of trying to go crazy on that hashtag hustle, hashtag grind life, let's just start by doing little things that are hopefully gonna make us a little bit better than we were last week. Knowing that it's okay to take breaks, it's okay to not go full throttle, and as long as we are thinking about, you know, trying to get a little better, but taking the time off when we need to, and, you know, enjoying time to ourselves or with our families and friends, knowing that down the road, things are gonna improve, things are gonna get better, because you know what, they always do. In the end, things really do always work out. So that's what's been on my mind, and how I plan to approach this next week. Just riding the waves, keeping the mindset of, you know, I'm gonna do what I can, but ups and downs are gonna happen, and that's gonna be okay. So I hope this could help you out, maybe give you some ideas to think about for the start of the new week. As always, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you guys for joining me, allowing me to share my thoughts with you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. So with that, guys, I'll see you in the next video.